Welcome to Animal Stories for Kids. If you like our stories, please give us a 5-star rating, subscribe to our podcast, and share it with your friends and family. If you're listening on Spotify, you can support the podcast through listener support. Plus, check out exclusive show-related content and join the community at patreon.com/Animal Stories for Kids. And now, it's time for our story. Once upon a time, there was an assassin bug named Reed. Reed the assassin bug lived under a pile of rocks on the mountainside where the sun would warm up the boulders all day. He was a quiet assassin bug, and he kept to himself most of the day. He wasn't a good hunter like his friends the other assassin bugs, who would always go to sleep stomachs full while Reed the assassin bug went to sleep stomach half full. It was the same every day. Reed would wake up and crawl out of the sun-baked boulders, and by the time he crawled out of the pile of rocks to stretch, the best spot to ambush locusts was always taken. It was the spot that any assassin bug could stay at, where any insect would come by and not even know they were there. Whichever assassin bug had that spot that day had an easy meal no matter what. And since the assassin bug code was that if one bug gets a good spot, every other bug has to leave that area so that one bug can hunt. So that meant Reed the assassin bug had to just leave. And this happened all the time. One morning, Reed stumbled out of his pile of rocks and, barely being able to see straight, he stumbled over to the ambush spot and he saw another assassin bug just perched up in the spot waiting for the easy hunt. "Aw," said Reed the assassin bug. "I'm always late to this spot." "Good morning, sleepyhead," said the other assassin bug, sitting in the ambush spot. "Late for the easy catch today?" "Yeah," said Reed. "As usual, I guess." The other assassin bug said to Reed, "You gotta get up earlier to get this spot." Reed the assassin bug walked away with an empty stomach, and he determined then and there that he would wake up earlier next time. He had to. His hunger depended on it. And he really tried to wake up early. His first attempt was a very smart idea. He found a small wet stick next to the pile of rocks he sleeps under, and he placed an old, dried thorn from a plant on it. The idea was that when the sun rose up and warmed up the side of the mountain, the small wet stick would dry up too and shrink a little, which in turn the thorn would fall on him and wake him up. "Not a bad idea," said Reed the assassin bug to himself. So he did as he planned. He found a small wet stick next to where he sleeps, and he placed an old dried thorn on it. And the next morning, the sun rose up and warmed up all the rocks, and the small stick became dry too, and the thorn fell, just as Reed planned. And when the thorn fell on Reed the assassin bug, he just shuffled over to the other side and kept on sleeping. His second attempt wasn't as clever as his first, but it was a good attempt. He slept above the pile of rocks, instead of being warm underneath the rocks at night. Reed thought to himself that if he slept on top of the rocks, the sun would rise in the morning and would wake him up immediately. So Reed tried. It was a scary night. He was attacked by snakes and birds all out in the middle of the night looking for food. And as the sun came up, and Reed was still on top of the rocks, with barely any sleep, because he was trying to stay alive all night, because he was sleeping on top of the rocks instead of sleeping under the rocks, he just couldn't get up. And so Reed just crawled under the rocks and slept the rest of the morning. When he finally woke up and went to the ambush spot, of course, there was another assassin bug there. Reed tried one more thing. He went up to the ambush spot, and he found a pile of rocks around it. And with no other assassin bug looking around, Reed went underneath the small pile of rocks and got himself comfortable. The next day, when the sun rose, Reed was right there, right next to the ambush spot. It was open for him to go up to and just take. So, when the sun came up, Reed thought to himself, "I'll be okay now. Just 5 more minutes and I can wake up and get the ambush spot. Easy peasy." After 5 minutes, the sun was brighter and shining on Reed's face. He thought to himself, "I'm still okay. I can practically see the ambush spot from here. It's right in front of me. It's empty right now. Just 5 more minutes and I can wake up and get the ambush spot. Simple pimple." After another 5 minutes, Reed finally woke up and got up and stretched and stumbled out of the small pile of rocks, and he saw another assassin bug at the ambush spot. "Wait, what?" said Reed the assassin bug. "I was right here, and how did I oversleep again?" Reed was not happy with how he overslept. He wasn't able to get the ambush spot because he wasn't able to wake up. Even when he slept right up near the spot, he still didn't get it because he didn't wake up when he had to. Reed the assassin bug then determined that he would not let this happen again. Reed was now set in his mind that he would get the spot no matter what, that he would get up from his sleep even though he wanted 5 more minutes. He learned his lesson and he didn't want to be hungry anymore. So he went to sleep. And early the next morning, right when the sun peeked through the trees and started hitting the rocks on the side of the mountain, Reed the assassin bug got up. Still wanting to go to sleep, he thought to himself, "I can stay asleep for another 5 minutes, or I can get some food today." And so, determined to eat, he stretched, crawled up out of the small pile of rocks, and he scampered his way to the ambush spot. And it was open. It was free and clear. It was all his. So Reed the assassin bug went to his newly claimed spot, and he felt great. It really was a great spot. He could see the path that all the little insects used to get through the mountain, and he couldn't wait to get his first easy meal. And as he sat in the ambush spot, Reed realized that he was actually always able to get the ambush spot anytime he wanted. In fact, he was able to get just about anything he wanted. It was just up to him whether he wanted something more than an extra 5 minutes of sleep. And the assassin bug lived happily ever after. The end. Assassin bugs are a group of predatory insects in the true bug order known for their sharp beaks that helps them eat their prey, and are characterized with a thin neck structure that connects the narrow head to the body. Assassin bugs have long oval-shaped bodies with long antennae and wings. They have a narrow head and rounded eyes and a long beak that can fold in 3 segments and be used to puncture their prey and pump them full of venom, which turns the inside of the prey into kind of a smoothie, which then the assassin bug drinks up. They range in size from 5 to 40 millimeters. Assassin bugs are also called Reduviidae and are known to be predatory blood-sucking ectoparasites and are part of a very large group with diverse body forms and colors. There are many different kinds of assassin bugs. They're great flyers and walkers. They live in many different types of habitats. Assassin bugs are usually dark, with combinations of gray, black, and green. They have long, narrow heads, and some use their front legs to capture their prey. The name assassin bug comes from their behavior. Assassin bugs are really good at hiding and waiting for the right moment to capture their prey. Assassin bugs can be found all over the world, except for extreme climates. They can usually be found in fields, gardens, grasslands, trees, and in the mountainsides. There are two different kinds of assassin bugs: those that are carnivorous and are ambushing predators, and those that are blood-sucking predators. Assassin bugs themselves have many predators, like birds, frogs, lizards, snakes, and other small animals. There are several thousand types of assassin bugs all around the world. Here's just a few: the kissing bug, pale green assassin bug, masked hunter, ambush bug, feather-leg bugs, and even threaded leg bugs. Have you seen a real-life assassin bug before? If you have, where did you see it? If you want to write to us, ask your parent to email us at animalstoriesforkids@gmail.com and tell us what you think of our stories. We would love to hear from you. Thanks for listening to Animal Stories for Kids. If you like our stories, please give us a 5-star rating, subscribe to our podcast, and share it with your friends and family. If you're listening on Spotify, you can support the podcast through listener support. Plus, check out exclusive show-related content and join the community at patreon.com/animalstoriesforkids. Until next time, bye!